Sagittarius, welcome to your August 11th reading. This is just a reminder, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe by clicking one of the buttons down here. I don't know exactly where it is, but it's one of the buttons down here. Click that subscribe button so you can stay in touch with your future readings. Like, subscribe, and please do all the YouTube things. It'll really help the channel grow. So let's go ahead, Sag, and we're going to get this in for you for the week of August 11th. So we're going to start with a cut of the deck to see what we find at the bottom of the deck, which is going to be your focus card here, and you have the Fool. So this week, be prepared. You're going to be taking some sort of new journey. The Fool is the first card in the major arcana. It's taking a brand new journey. It's the end of a rebirth, and you are starting something new. So what is this for you, right? Is this, it doesn't have to be a physical new adventure. It can be a new adventure diving into yourself, something new that you want to look at in yourself, something new that you want to start at home, outside of the world. So what is it that you want to start that's new? And, the Fool is also about taking a leap of faith, right? So it is definitely reminding you that if there's something that you want, have the bold energy to go after it by taking a leap of faith, right? If there's something that you want to move towards here, as far as any direction in your life, definitely take a leap of faith with this Fool card. All right, so we're going to come up with 5 cards for you here, and we'll clarify. Your first card is the 6 of Swords. Second card is the Star. Third card is the Moon. Fourth card is the Tower. And your last card is the 7 of Pentacles. So again, we have the Fool at the bottom of the deck to start off as your focus card. So you start off with the 6 of Swords. So this is moving on to a better place. Like what you can see here with the 6 of Swords is that these two people have decided to really leave behind what they know, their life. They have these 6 swords. They're being moved along the water here by this guide. And it's a card of, definitely being open to something new. Obviously in the tarot, whenever we have cards where there's forward movement, a big message is you don't know what's going to happen, right? Like they've accumulated these 6 swords. What they had in their life wasn't worth it. So they're taking these 6 swords. So it's like you're going to be using your mental clarity. You're going to be using your mind. Whatever this journey is, it's going to be towards something new, right? And it's like whatever this new journey that you're going to be taking, it's going to bring you to a calmer place, a better place, if you think it through. Right? You have to definitely do your best to process things and definitely figure things out with your mind, with these swords, right? And you're going to move on to a better place. And next to it is the Star, right? So in the reading, right, we have the 6 of, I'm going to get it right, the 6 of Swords moving towards the Star. So the Star is a lot. The Star is a card of self-healing. The Star is a card of definitely looking out for the collective. The Star is Aquarius, right? So it's like you're moving on to a possibly more eccentric version of yourself, right? You want to move towards more individuality. There's this big star up here. That's like the direction that you need to head in, right? Like you need to know that you are a star. What makes you a star? What makes you shine bright? What makes you stand out? What makes you different, right? So it's like if you feel like there's something that you need to move towards that's about individuality, you are moving towards the Star energy. The Star is also about self-healing, right? So if you need to take the time in your life right now to take care of yourself, the Star is urging you to heal, right? You could see here the woman is bathing in the universal pool of consciousness, right? So again, with that Swords energy from the 6 of Swords, and the Star is an air sign, which is obviously about the mind and being brilliant, right? You need to tap into your mind more for whatever this direction is that you are heading in. And, definitely practice self-healing, right? It's coming up, and you have the Tower, right? So, I mean, we'll see what the Tower is about. But, you know, any sort of Tower moment that could be sudden, right? If you are not in a healed place, it's harder to handle those Tower moments, right? Your third card is the Moon. So the Moon is about, you know, what's hidden in the darkness. The Moon is your emotions. The Moon is Cancer, right? You know, a couple things on the Moon here. You see these two dogs. Those two dogs represent our domesticated side and our more animalistic side. So it's definitely saying that when you tap into what's in the darkness, right? Think about how society has shaped you. Like, are you conforming to society's rules? Are you allowing society and culture and expectations to really determine your direction right now? Or is there something inside of you that's a more animalistic urge, like something more in your true, you know, human nature that you want to follow here, whatever it is that you're going to be doing? So as you go on this new journey, as you move forward and you move towards, you know, becoming a star and practicing that self-healing and really rejuvenating, a lot of things are going to come to light that is in the darkness, right? And it's like you need to balance those energies inside of us. We all need to do this. We all need to find a way to realize that as much as we exist in this, you know, super sophisticated, modern civilized world, it's really important to tap into that animal in us, that natural, you know, as a human species, like the things that make you truly an animal. So balance out the domestic side and that animalistic side. Fourth card is the Tower. Tower is being brought back down to reality. So maybe your head has been in the clouds. Maybe you haven't been in touch with a lot of things in your reality. Maybe you've been dreaming too much about things that have been keeping you from reality. So, you know, whatever Tower moment comes up for you in this coming week, it's going to bring you back down to reality, right? So however that resonates for you, I mean, the Tower is not a bad card, right? Like the Tower is Scorpio. Scorpio is all about transformation. Scorpio is all about rebirth and transforming and transmuting and changing from one form to another. So if you experience a Tower moment coming up real soon, maybe in this week, just know that it's an opportunity for you to really see, like, where have you not been living in reality, right? And then when you get brought back down to reality, it gives you an opportunity to gain some new perspectives and to like really transform yourself into another form, like really learn the lessons, you know. And I mean, obviously we know for that with the Tower, it could be something that is devastating. You see here, this lightning bolt is striking this Tower because they're not living in reality and they have to jump out of the windows because it's meant for them to come back down to earth, to come back down to reality, to not, you know, be living in this sort of like fantasy type of tower situation where you're not facing what is truly going on in you and your life. And then your last card is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a reassessment of where you are at in your life, what you're working towards, the things that you've been working on in yourself, the things that you've been working on outside of yourself. You're asking yourself, you know, is this work that I've been putting in worth the effort, right? And, you know, and then the thing about it is that the Seven of Pentacles can mean that you might change directions, right? Because the next card is the Eight of Pentacles. And that means that instead of taking a look back at everything that you worked on, you're going to focus on one thing with the Eight of Pentacles, right? So it's like, this is a card that's saying that you need to think about all the things that you've been working on, right? And like, to me, I'm getting the feeling in this reading that it's like, what have you been working on in yourself? Right? If you haven't been working on in yourself, how are you going to take the time to work on yourself? Because with the Tower in the reading, you know, when we don't do the work inside of ourselves, when we don't process what we need to process, when we don't grow and adapt and evolve, right? Then Tower moments are meant to bring us back to ourselves so that we can really start getting in touch with ourselves and getting in tune to what's going on in our lives. All right, so let's clarify here. Your first card is the Six of Swords, and with the Six of Swords, you have justice, right? So this is taking a look at, again, I mean, with that Seven of Pentacles, justice is about taking a look at your life, yourself, from a balanced perspective, from an objective perspective, seeing both sides, bringing things into balance. So like, how are you going to further bring yourself into balance? And then, you know, this is what you're moving towards, or maybe this urge to bring yourself into balance is what's going to bring you to a better place with this Six of Swords. All right, with the Star, you have the Queen of Wands. So this definitely goes hand in hand, right? The Star is about self-healing, right? The Star is about self-care. The Star is about being innovative, you know, following that direction in your life that you need to follow. And the Queen of Wands is definitely about following a better direction, right? She is focused on the sun, right? The sunflower is pointed towards the sun. The Queen of Wands is about, you know, creative, bold energy, right? Being more playful, you know, taking on action more. If the moment strikes you to be bold, you know, in a certain direction, you know, asking you to be more brave in a certain direction, the Queen of Wands is saying that if you do that, you are going to, you know, face yourself towards the sun, and the sun is all about happiness and ease and joy, right? So that's definitely what that card is saying. With the Moon, you have the Ace of Wands. Right? So as you dive into your hidden feelings, as you balance out your emotions, you're going to have a brand new beginning here, right? Something new that's going to come in, something that's going to spark your creativity, something for you to be really excited about, something that's going to lead you to, you know, new experiences with that Ace of Wands. And with the Tower, you have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands, especially with the Tower, what it's about is, you know, if you experience a Tower moment coming up, right? It could be this week, it could be, you know, coming up, right? Like, don't be scared of the Tower, right? With the Two of Wands, it's saying that you've been standing still, right? Like, you can see this guy has his two wands. He's on top of this castle that he's built. He's looking out, but he doesn't realize that he has the world in his hand. So it's like with the Tower and the Two of Wands, it's saying that you need to look inside of yourself, right? Because you have everything right in the palm of your hands, right? So you're looking outside of yourself for anything, answers, experiences, happiness, right? So if the Tower comes in for you, it's saying that you need to look inside of yourself, because everything that you need is inside of you, and you've been, you know, possibly denying yourself from that inner vision that you need to have coming up in this week and moving forward. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Swords. Right? So whatever it is that you've been working towards, you've been wanting to really end something painful in your life, right? Before the Ten of Swords is the Nine of Swords. And that's a card of like a Groundhog Day, like a never ending situation that's just frustrating. Like you can't feel like you can't snap out of it. So a reassessment of what you've been working on in yourself and in your life, right? When you start to think about what you've been working on, it's going to lead to the ending of something that's been painful for you, right? This is a scary card, right? 10 swords in this dead guy's back, but it's like, this is saying that a painful cycle is going to close out for you here, Sagittarius. So hope you liked the reading. And if you did, there's some videos popping up in a playlist. Please check them out. And if you made it this far, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and watch out for future videos. Have a good week, Sagittarius.